So, anyways, Joe, what you were describing a rash?
A rash.
As soon as you hit the recording button, I got excited again. So I don't know.
Ran off for fear poops.
No,
here we
really
go
though. Brian says, "Hey, how are we going to differentiate the Joes?" And there's no like this Joe or that Joe. Like I don't know how we're going to do this. This
Yes,
is
you
gonna be,
do.
Well, I know this from family stuff, but
yeah, and we're gonna hash it up because I hate myself. So Joe here is my older cousin. So that also means he was around first for a few years. So, but by the time I came on the scene, yeah, our family had the same problem. What the heck are we gonna do? There's two Joes now. Oh no. Oh, if I find out who is the root of this problem, I'm coming after them, Joe.
Okay. But I mean, like, this is the thing, Joe. This is the thing. I didn't think there was a problem. I thought everything was just hunky dory fine.
Yeah,
because it never bothered me.
Yeah, because
the Joe.
I feel like we still haven't gotten to the subject of this email.
Well, Brian, this one's gonna be more off the rails. I'm just sorry in advance.
That's fine. That's fine.
But so yeah, Joe. Yeah, of course you would see a problem, Joe, because you got to be called Big Joe, and I was called Little Joe well into my 20s by every family member for years, and it just started bleeding out of our family too. So, meet people on. Oh yeah, you're Little Joe because everybody knows this Joe in like our whole area where we live. Because
I don't know if you guys know this, but downriver Michigan, I was kind of a big deal. So.
Everyone knew you and had a story. You're like, oh yeah, you're Big Joe's little cousin, Little Joe. I'm like, yeah, great, freaking tastic. Go anywhere.
But no, but Joe, it's poetic because I now am in your shadow on this show. Not. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's for full circle. You took
No, you're not in his shadow. I will take you any day of the week.
There it is.
As the reoccurring Joe. Trust me.
Reoccurring? like a cog in the machine. We could just be replaced.
Yeah, pretty much. We have to have at least one Joe on the show at all times.
Oh, God.
Yep. No. That's about what I would expect to happen. I don't know, Joe. You only have like semi-professional podcast experience, and I'm just a schmuck bumbling over here. But yeah, sure.
I'm an old-time radio guy, like from a long time ago, before podcasting had a name. I had been doing internet radio on things called like IceCast and all of these old kind of ways of doing radio, and so that's where my background came from. And actually, it ended up carrying me a really long way. So just as a quick introduction for me, my name's Joe. And I did do thousands of hours of podcasts and shows and even worked together with this Joe here, Joe Fettuccini. I don't know how we're going to do it. But we even like, how everybody during COVID had like their sourdough.
Yeah.
Well, my sourdough was making a very small time YouTube show with the Joe here, and it was like it was sort of the best.
I was an editor, and then your producer got scared and intimidated. I'm putting him on blast. I don't care.
But you were so good. Anyway, I don't want to drag down the episode, but the thing is, there's. In our good blood, there's bad blood. It was Joe was born from the little, and now the larger is here, and I feel like the circle is complete now, right? Like you are the master here, and I am just like working my corporate job, doing my own thing, and now I'm sitting there listening to the shows that you're producing. I think it's actually very poetic, and I enjoy all the stuff that's on the site. And truly, I don't want to like lose anybody here, but I really enjoy it. It's really awesome to be part of the community and be on the show now. It's a little bit of an honor for me. So I appreciate the invite.
Oh yeah, I was happy. I'm glad you accepted.
Yeah, we're glad you're here.
Yeah, I mean, history works. It's what we're going to be talking about in a bit here too. So it's all on brand. It's like we knew what we were doing.
Well, that was kind of the best part is you didn't just come on the show. You brought the topic this month. You're the one who like you filled out so much of the form that I follow for the the show there that I barely had any work to do. I just had to make up a bunch of questions.
Well, I think when I look at the process that you guys already have, I'm like, well, what's going to fit into this? I've listened to a couple episodes. I'm a fan too, right?
Yeah.
So, getting on, being a fan, and then also like, well, do the listeners know the topic?
What? Not yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Or we blow our load now, and I don't know.
Well, it's going to be in the title of the episode, right? Or in the description.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they did click on an episode that's going to have nostalgia or something in the title. So, yeah.
Reading 2 words. Oh.
Yeah, they just see episode 7 and just say, sure.
Sure. Yeah. So like, I guess the nostalgia play for me is like, I'm listening to your episodes. I'm consuming all of the Retrotopia content for a mere $2 a month or €3. It's the very first tier. Like I'm just like
there is
doing
only
the bare
one
minimum.
tier.
I would say we only have one. Yeah.
I'm just doing the bare minimum. So like, support the community. And it's just I hear so much of the nostalgia, and it's so comforting. It's like a little blanket that just I can listen to you guys talking about all this wonderful stuff, and it's like, oh, I know that. Or alternatively, now that I have an Ambernick, because
you're welcome.
Good Joe was so gracious. Joe was so nice to actually give me his old one, because he got the one with the directional pad, or he got the ones with the analog sticks. Yeah. So I've been like consuming the content that's coming out. It's great. I feel part of it.
This is going to be a nightmare to listen to. Nobody is going to know which Joe is being addressed, but I'm all for it.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun for me. And this is what it's about. This whole thing comes about because I enjoy doing it. And also thank you very much for your support. It really does mean a lot, because I never thought anybody would ever pay, listen to us. And
well, I mean, I got to support my family. Like
fair point.
Knows I need help. Yeah.
I'm sure he gets it. Wait, does he not?
Brian,
does he not get paid?
Nobody gets paid. All the money just goes into all I do, like, if a little behind the scenes action here is the money is just used to be put back into the podcast. So when we have an expense, it comes out of that pool of money. And we have a podcast host, what costs money every year. And that's why we started the Patreon. I was paying that out of pocket for the first year and a half.
Yeah.
And Brian got no job. So that was,
it
was becoming a big expense there. So a couple of people jumped on right away, which helped me out like immensely. And then, we've been growing like just insanely a lot lately. So, words hard. Sorry.
As you should, though, because the quality's there, the content's there. I'm really excited that I was invited to the community by Joe, by the wonderful Joe.
To be fair, we told him to find his replacement.
Well, I do have a couple years of experience. I'm not just good enough. Yeah. I'll put in my resume after the show. Consider this my interview.
Off called just good enough. Actually.
Oh no!
I thought you did for an episode.
Back in the day, I used to have a podcast called Just Cool Enough, and every once in a while, another episode escapes, and so there's like 500 episodes of that, and that's out there. I think everything else that I did that was World of Warcraft related, and
WoW Radio,
WoW Radio, all of that kind of stuff kind of fell off of the internet. I don't think anybody even remembers any of that, kind of like the Total Biscuit era and all that kind of stuff. So
if somebody finds it, that'd be gold.
But
it's out there.
Somewhere.
Maybe on the way back. I don't know. I don't Google myself every day like I used to. It's just, once you're almost into your 40s, it's just not the same.
And then just, scary accusations come up. You're like, oh wait, what was I found doing? Where? What?
Oh God. I'm really happy that the nostalgic for the internet that doesn't exist anymore. I'm really happy that all my cringe era, I guess you're always in your cringe era, but I'm really happy that
those awkward teen years in the 90s. I'm so happy that there was no social media. Just
I don't know what
like kids today have to have it so hard. Everything is documented in their lives. Like they have to be a specific way. And, we didn't have that. You fall down a hill, there's no recording of it. You fall down a hill now, it's like you got 5 angles.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's, can't get away from anything. And yeah, it's just all consuming. Every mistake's out there, like many of mine. And yeah.
And it only gets worse from there.
Yay! Great.
I remember one guy, so dumb, told a story about how he got
Joe?
arrested for grabbing his Pokemon from school.
Wait, what?
Huh? I can't remember the whole story. It was so long ago, but that story you gave at the end of that one episode
for
was
a
Sam.
second there, I was just like, I forgot I told it on air.
Yeah, you did, and we have it on the Patreon. Yeah, I put music to it and everything.
Yeah, you did. I forgot I told that on air. I don't know, Joe. You were probably out doing your own life at that point. You heard? Well, you might heard it in the back catalog now. I won't rehash the full thing. You remember I got the ride home in a cop car from breaking into my elementary school to go get my Game Boy? That's sound familiar?
This is exactly. I remember the story when it happened, but then I also remember it more recently because that was one of the reasons I spent the couple bucks a month because I was like, I gotta hear the way Joe told the story because I want to know what punches he pulled or what he's exaggerating. I want to know. Yeah, I was like, oh God, Joe, ease up. You don't have to. Oh no, you don't have to say all that.
Yeah. He really has this lack of filter when he tells a story that just sometimes we got to get the bleep button ready for him just because Joe, you can't say that is not allowed anymore. Welcome to another episode of RetroBytes. My name is Brian, which apparently I keep forgetting to say. Thank you very much, Joe. And this week we are going on about nostalgia. And nostalgia is a very powerful thing because when you hear nostalgia, what's the first thing you actually picture? Is it like the game itself, the room you played in, the people that were around you, or the feeling you had at that age popping in a game into your console? Is it mostly about remembering the past, or is it trying to recover a version of ourselves that really no longer exists? So with me is Joe, as always. Hello. I'm going to call him my Joe or Joe 1 or Joe Fettuccini throughout the episode because he brought his cousin with him, Joe. How are you doing, guys?
I'm doing great, and this is just going to get mildly. Oh, great! Yeah, I'm doing good words. Awesome.
I'm doing great. Also, hi, I'm Joe. Also, and I'm also doing great. And I practiced and polished my intro perfectly, just like Joe Fettuccini. Hi, I'm Joe Q.
It's a nightmare of an intro, but we're gonna roll.
We have no idea what we're gonna call you guys throughout the episode, but I still feel like it's gonna be just Joe, and then I'm just gonna let you two fight it out. I plan to, when I do this, go make a sandwich because I'll have enough time by the time you guys are done bantering. So, but let's start out with just a simple question. Like, we're talking nostalgia. Yeah. What is your origins of gaming? Like, where did it all start for you? I'll start with our guest, Joe.
Yeah.
Guest Joe. Ooh, okay. Hi. So my earliest memories of video games is really on the Nintendo playing the Duck Hunt Super Mario Brothers combo. And that was really where I think it all started because but this I received this console as a hand-me-down when everybody else was getting like Super Nintendo and stuff. So I was already behind the curve of being extra nostalgic for things that I didn't know were already old. So that was my first foray into gaming, was just the beginning of the home consoles in the US here. So yeah.
And then for me it was like similar situation. I got a Sega Genesis it was a hand-me-down, passed down. I think we probably got our consoles from the same person, Joe, actually, but
we definitely did.
I knew it.
They were the rich family in our family.
That's true. But yeah, I started off a Sega Genesis back when, like, I literally think it was, I got my Sega Genesis towards the end of the N64 PS1 generation, so I was pretty behind. But I had that for years and just grow up playing classic Sonic, Rocket Knight Adventures that I've talked about plenty on these shows and stuff like that. And then just went from that to like Game Boys and eventually GameCubes and so on and so forth to a rampant addiction that knows no end. But that's mine. What about you, Brian?
Yeah. No, mine is way back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And we had a babysitter and he had a black and white TV with an Atari 2600 hooked up to it. And we played the ever living shit out of Missile Command and every one of those Atari games. And that's where I started. We didn't get a Nintendo until after the Super Nintendo was released, I believe. I can't remember. I was so young. But we got a Nintendo, and I think it was because my dad won it, not because they were going to buy us one.
Huh.
So we played Nintendo for a long time, and then we got a Super Nintendo at Christmas, which turns into a whole other story, which I'm not going to get into. And then my brother introduced me to role-playing games, JRPGs with Final Fantasy II. At first, I was just an outside observer. I wanted my Mario fix, the quick dopamine dump. But then I decided to play Final Fantasy II, and from there, it just took off. And I became basically a JRPG fan from then until now. And
You are
I don't know,
one of
just
the biggest I know.
I've always had video games in my life, and I've said this many times before. As a military kid, we moved around a lot, so there was always that period in the summer where we'd be in a new place, we don't know anybody, and school hasn't started yet, and I was too awkward of a kid to go out and make friends, and yeah, we just video games filled the gap, and then it always became like a part of my life.
Yeah. And it's always something that I feel like is a great like fallback. Good memories always come from it. Like you can ask anybody, and it's pretty rare, especially nowadays, that they'll be like, "Oh, I have no experience with video games." It's like such a common ground, and it's like an icebreaker at this point, where it's like everyone has at least one fond memory of like, "Oh, I had video games my whole life," or "Oh, I remember going over a friend's house and doing this, and it blew my
No,
mind." Yeah,
it's not just the video games itself. It was the period of time where
That's
video
true.
games brought you together. You're in sleepovers, like you said, you're doing couch co-op, you're
Yeah.
taking turns, you're going to arcades. Like video games was our social life back then, even though there was those people that just absolutely refused to get on board because they were too cool for digital stuff.
Yeah.
So this is like some member berries. Like you remember, like video games weren't cool. This was like
That's
it
true.
sounds like
No,
they were
weren't.
not a cool thing. And I can remember the first time I was like, oh no way, girls play video games, and just like I literally remember this in the very late 90s. Of course,
Yeah.
I played with my cousins and we would play Mario or Sega or whatever, but they didn't count, right? Because they're our cousins. And I could
That's
remember
something only some of it. That's all I had, man. But okay, sure, it doesn't count. Fine, anyways.
but no, I just like it didn't register that
No, I'm unimportant.
Girls play
It's
video-
fine. Yeah, continue.
you're anyway. Why do I feel bad about this? This is no, I'm not going to let this happen. No. So anyway, I remember the nostalgia I think actually this is a good example of kind of what sparked the idea of the episode, or part of what I was thinking was The Sims. I could remember some of the people around the neighborhood playing The Sims and being like, "Oh my gosh, what a cool game!" With The Sims 1 for PC, when that came out, it was sort of groundbreaking because it's like digital dollhouse, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I loved the game. I played it so much, and then finding out that other people played it, and then they came out with all these versions of it and kind of watered it down. But that kind of gets into what we're talking about a little bit later. I think like you can follow that as a through line of what's happened with the industry and how nostalgia has been kind of warped in so many different ways. But yeah, so like early video games, just to kind of add on to that, all that like Atari stuff, like that's almost like the before times for me.
Yeah,
And I
same.
only experienced that stuff through PC. I had an IBM 386, and I had all of the like the shareware versions of all the games you're talking about,
Oh,
Brian.
yeah.
Awesome.
like it was like missile command.
Well, we had a monochrome monitor computer, and I played a game called Police Quest that really required color, and we had to figure out how to beat the game without color.
Oh, that's hard.
Because
Yeah,
you would turn on your cop lights there, and it would flash red and blue, but all we saw was orange.
Orange and orange.
And we wouldn't always know, but it would speed you up in the game, and then you had to solve color puzzles, and it's just like, well, we don't know what the hell's going on, and the internet didn't exist, so we couldn't just look it up. But those were the days.
Right? Like when you think of like the ability to play a game now versus then, I mean, I think this gets brought up in every episode, but it's just like back in my day, we had a monochrome screen. Like I couldn't beat Number Munchers because I barely can add. How am I going to figure this? How am I going to figure this out? You know, like what?
Oh, it's funny. Nowadays, I pop in a game, and the first thing I do is like, do I really feel like a challenge, or I just want to sit back? And then, you flick it to easy, but you never tell anybody because it's embarrassing.
Yeah, right.
I did that yesterday on the Ambernick that Joe gave me. Good Joe gave me, and I put it on kid mode on Spider-Man for PlayStation. I was flipping between easy and normal. Like I'm not in the mood for hard.
Yeah.
And I like the way it says kid mode. You know, it like does this all the different ways. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it in kid mode. I just want to see what this game has.
Yeah.
In it. Like,
for research purposes.
Exactly. And so I shut my door. I made sure nobody was home. I played in kid mode, and like the challenge was still there for me because I'm like playing a PlayStation game on this Game Boy SP looking thing, and I'm just like, no, this is good. This is fine. This is where I'm at right now.
So that's a great way to segue into the first topic, which is kind of good nostalgia versus bad nostalgia. And we've been going over it, like some really good memories.
Yeah.
So what is it that makes something like the good nostalgia versus, something that you look back and you're like, well, not so happy about that one?
Well, like for me, like good nostalgia, and it's like that's why I was excited to have you on for this one, Joe, is like a lot of it was like growing up and spending time with like you and your brothers and stuff, because that was a lot of my video game like early experience was you guys. It was either going over your house or your brother crashing at mine, and just like it was the experience of playing games with someone and discovering something for the first time and just making those memories. That anytime I hear like, oh yeah, good old nostalgia, that's the stuff I always think about.
I think that is good nostalgia, right? Like, because you have all the elements there that are not yet to be preyed upon by the powers that be, right? Like this is like the Shire version of what of before you kind of get the bigger world map of how it turns out, right? Or so like this. And of course, I don't share any of those memories. I barely remember you being there. So
cool,
it's just so hard for me.
How do we do that?
No, really though. I mean, that is it, Joe. And it's like the family. It's all about family.
There's going to be a lot of family talk this episode. There's no avoiding it.
Welcome to the family, Brian.
Again. Yay! You like my pasta?
You get two sides with that with your unlimited breadsticks.
Oh, God damn it!
and what is it, salad and unlimited soup or something? I don't know how it works. I get real food. I get real Italian food.
I was gonna say, if you knew how Olive Garden worked, we were gonna have a talk. Like,
I know. Just open up an Olive Garden here. I'm gonna go to that and take pictures and just tag my Joe into it the whole time. Be like, real Italian, bro.
I think Sam will kill you before I do. Honestly, Sam has an unbridled hatred of Olive Garden that I have never seen as an Italian man.
I feel that now that I live in Europe and I like travel back and forth from the US and Europe, now I feel more connected to the Olive Garden than ever before. I'm like, oh God, I'm about as Italian as the Olive Garden. This is awful. I thought it was so much better than this.
So outside of overly salty breadsticks, is there like a franchise, a movie, a game, anything that you used to love back in your childhood, your teenage years that you still today go to just for that comfort?
I mean, Taco Bell.
Well, that's comfort on the way in, discomfort on the way out.
But yeah, go ahead, Joe, if you want to actually answer the question.
I mean, if, as far as a franchise is concerned, like a media franchise,
Yeah.
it's Star Wars all the way down
Yeah.
because it's just like, what is it, my boy? What have they done to my boy?
Yeah.
Like, this is just like, and like I lived through the prequels as many of us have, and then I've just watched it go from something that's an event to something that is sort of special to whatever it is now.
Now it's a horror. It's everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't avoid it, and it's not good.
So it's like, I think that's another reason that I really wanted to kind of dig into this topic with you guys is like, am I the only one that's feeling this way or what? Like, what is going on here?
It's the idea of them like prophetizing nostalgia because they're just taking, like you said, things you love and then re-releasing. It's like all these video games that are being remade or, remastered, being dumped out on us again because we have this unhealthy obsession with our childhood. And I think it stems from the fact that if we gesture broadly and look at everything, it's just so horrible nowadays.
Yeah.
We're in a stasis. It's like they want to keep. I think it's like a lack of risk from a company side, but like it just feels like we aren't moving forward when it comes to creative ideas, at least in the mainstream. That we know that to be true.
I mean, I think that stems from the almighty dollar there, and it just kind of gives me a chance to transition here. So, if nostalgia really is this emotional force, like very powerful emotional force, what happens when these companies realize they can monetize our nostalgia?
Well, you get products like the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that. Okay, I want to be very clear. The second Mario movie. Yeah, that was not. I get like that just feels like a blatant cash grab. I think the first one had some heart.
Yeah,
but
Brian, did you see it yet? By the way,
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did too. Now, but anyways, go ahead.
So it's like that, and again, from earlier in the episode, that was my first foray into gaming was through Super Mario. So of course, but I also watched like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah,
and like, and once I showed I have two children. Once I showed them that, I was like, this is my Mario, and they're like, what the heck is going on, Dad? Like, this doesn't sound like Mario. Like his hair's like weird.
Brian made me watch the OG movie recently.
I was going to say, if you tell me you're going to force them to watch it as a punishment.
Oh my God.
That was so weird seeing that for the first time. That could be its own episode. It's like, what are you? But it's that whole franchise and everything. Like that was also part of what was on my mind with the Super Mario 2 movie, because it's just it's set up in ways. It's set up a lot like the game. It's like they have a lot of setup, and it's just very. I don't know. I guess I'm not looking for an opera, but it felt really hollow to me, and I don't know why.
Well, like, and this isn't spoiling anything with the movie, but it's just like there was like I think a 5-minute scene of like characters running through classic levels and getting like, hey, look, this is all the stuff you grew up with, remember? And then let's ignore that for the rest of the movie and just focus on this other plot that. That was
the problem I had with the movie. Like the first movie, my problem was Peach was bulletproof, and she's bulletproof again in this movie.
Yeah.
And she really didn't need Mario to solve her problems. Mario was just kind of there for the movie to be some sort of
more so in the
anchor to the poster.
Holy hell.
And in the second movie, Peach is already off without him. And again, she doesn't need him. But neither here nor there, the bumbling idiots that are the Mario brothers work their way up to the top, and they end up beating the final boss because, story demands it. Mm-hmm. And
Yoshi
bringing us back to the corporate side of nostalgia and looking at companies, and we're talking about how they took our childhood and basically monetized it into a movie, but they've also done that with like these subscription services. They've taken our games that we could get as a kid, and they've put these on the subscription service for money, and then you got remakes and remasters and all that kind of stuff. It's why does it feel so satisfying to us nowadays? Like, why do you guys think it feels so satisfying for us to see these remakes and reboots? Because you got to admit, you get excited when they announce a remaking Final Fantasy VII or Ocarina of Time.
Initially, you do.
But okay, and like I'm okay with them remaking something like if it is a labor of love. Like, the story that comes to mind. Crash Bandicoot, right? Like they went line by line in the code and recreated it. The engine was gone. The whole like they went on YouTube to find
Yeah.
content that was missing, and they did a faithful recreation to bring it up to a standard. And I'm okay with that. You know, there was real work, time, love, and energy put into this, and they can monetize that to their heart's content. That feels good. That feels good to me. And then there is, well, I'm sure you guys have counter examples
Yeah.
of this.
Well, like for me, like typically, I struggle to think of remakes that aren't just like the remakes are typically for the fans of the original franchise, and most of the time are faithful representations, just updated, modern conveniences, all that. It's these reboots that get me more. Like one of the example I think of always is like the Devil May Cry series. Like the original PS1 game, it was rough, but it sparked something, and that franchise grew into something amazing. And then,
Mhm.
like, it was in its in between area, I think it was between 2 and 3, when it was like dying out a little bit. They tried to relaunch it with DMC Devil May Cry, a complete reboot that was just a complete bastardization of the entire story, the entire gameplay, and it was revolting and is like a highly rated like shit tier reboot.
See,
But Brian,
I'm on the opposite side of that.
Yeah.
Like reboots of a franchise that has grown stale or they've kind of told the story they want to tell. It gives you the familiarity of the said franchise, but also gives you a new game and a new protagonist. It also allows them to connect it. Like I think of Ghostbusters. Now
Okay.
we all remember the original first two movies were just like the absolute tits. They were the
Yes,
greatest
of
movies as
course.
kids we could ever watch, and then they did that reboot with the women.
Yeah.
So that one did not get well received, and they just turned them into stereotypes. That's my biggest problem with the movie is they were just caricatures of them, their stereotypes, and I hated that. But
it
when
was
they,
like they didn't. This is bad nostalgia, right? And it's
yeah,
I feel like this
Yeah,
is
it
a hard
is.
topic because I don't want to take away from like women in the workforce
Well,
doing
yeah.
no,
cool
it,
stuff,
but no,
right?
it's
So I
not
want to be
even
super
about.
clear.
Yeah, it's
But
not about women
like
in the workforce. But just to really quickly finish my point
Yeah,
here,
go for it.
uh, so then we got the subsequent two Ghostbuster movies, and what they did with that one is they rebooted the franchise while paying homage to the original, which the one with the
exactly.
women didn't do.
Hmm.
So they
And
brought back in the original Ghostbusters, and they let us transition into this new era, and I think that's what a reboot should do.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, right? Like it was just done improperly. It was done in a way that was, like you said, a caricature. When they reimagined it and they said, okay, we're going to cast these people, we're going to do these things, and then it feels like the world saw what was going on and we all sort of rejected it because it was like, this is just bad, we
Mhm.
don't like this. And I mean, voting with your wallet is, I think, the strongest way to vote. And holding these studios accountable for just trying to cash in and just giving away our time, we shouldn't do that. So I
Yeah.
applaud when a community can kind of unite, whether they know it or not, and just say no. And I think that's part of the beauty of the whole
Well,
Retrotopia
that happened
thing,
with Sonic
right?
the Hedgehog movie.
Exactly. Oh
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, where they just like, yeah. I can't it's I'm shocked how much they listen to fan input on rebooting that thing.
Yeah, and I love that Ugly Sonic never disappeared. He went to the Chippendale movie.
I love that too.
It's perfect.
It
It's
was.
perfect because I mean that is, I feel like that was sort of an inflection point for studios in some ways, because you can always point to Ugly Sonic and say, no, there is if you're the guy in the boardroom trying to make a case for this stuff, you can say there is a business case to being good
Mhm.
and to listening to the community and trying to make these changes that not only make sense within the universe of whatever or the lore, but also it can be profitable too,
Yeah,
and the
Yeah.
people won't hate you.
I think that was literally the point where they realized that instead of trying to adapt something to
Yeah.
modern audiences that don't never grew up with this, if they literally kept it to what made it popular in the first place, like they've done with movies after that, with like Detective Pikachu, the Mario movies, and all those, that draws in new people into the world that they're trying to present.
And that's how
It's,
you grow your IP from there too.
yeah,
Your existing IP. You're bringing in
like
new audiences by paying homage to the original source material.
Now, if Hollywood wasn't just a bunch of hedge funds in a trench coat, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, it would be, but that's not the case, and that's the world we live in. Like, yeah, you
So-
want to talk about a bastardized
Yeah.
franchise? It's Pokemon too. Like, I won't go deep into it, but it's just like, yeah, you look at the original games, caught a spark. It's still the biggest media property on Earth today, but it is a shell of its former self because it's just Pokemon's a cash grab now, and I say that as a loyal Pokemon fan. I still buy all the games knowing they're going to be shit. But
Wait,
Yeah,
you
and
still buy the games?
yes,
Joe, stop! That's why we're having this episode. This is an intervention.
But that's
This isn't as your bigger cousin. I'm telling you, stop spending. You're a bad example for your children and the people around you.
Jesus.
Don't spend that money. Don't spend that money.
So we were talking about this before we started recording today in the Discord. Somebody brought up the point of like, why do we keep like jumping on it? And it was all about like a corporation selling FOMO as part of their product. Like when that chip shortage happened, was there really a chip shortage?
No.
Did they have to continuously raise the prices of consoles? Like it used to be in a way that consoles would take a hit on profits because we would buy games at big profits. And nowadays they realize they can just make profit off both of them. So they just raise the price of everything.
This is something I heard the term, like greedflation. It's not, it's greed. Like it's just straight up, like they know that people are going to be there. They're going to pay. There's this base level of fandom that will show up, rain or shine. And I fervently believe that shouldn't exist. Like you can make an IP and we can love it, but we shouldn't react by just throwing our money at it, because it creates perverse incentives for these big companies, right? Like we do not and that is really what's pulled me into the Retrotopia stuff. It's like, oh man, like all of the good games, they're here already. What are we doing? Like, if they want my money, they could pry it from my almost, my middle-aged, cold, clammy hands.
So that begs the question there. If corporations are selling nostalgia as a product, what is the retro community able to do to preserve, those games and that money that really can't be replicated? Like, what is the responsibility of these retro game collectors or these streamers or the podcasters or anybody who's around that retro community? Like,
sorry, I thought I was on mute. Podcasters.
Well, I feel like it's like the job of retro community is like us. It's like we don't always just talk about like, we talk very little about like, yeah, this game was great. Yeah, it was. What we talk about more is like, hey, I remember all this time growing up. This is what I was doing. This is what I was doing with my summers. This is what was going on in my life. It's the memories tied to these retro experiences, but it's essentially we're highlighting, hey, I had good times in my childhood playing video games. I know you guys did too. Let's talk about it. That's what our communities do. But these corporations are just like, yeah, oh, hey, you guys like talking about your old childhood experiences? Great. How can we profit off of it?
I mean, that's the job of a company, is to make money, right? But I don't want to feel like I'm being just blatantly pumped for cash every quarter for the latest Star Wars whatever. And one company that has done it really well, because I was really into RTS games.
You were.
So for and I say really into it, it's like I really liked playing them. I was never like good, but anyway, I just want to be very clear like about that. But the Age of Empires series was like my bread and butter growing up, and they have done recreations and HD releases and definitive editions, and the spirit of Ensemble Studios and the way that game was recreated from the places where it started, like there's still a vibrant community of people playing this, and they're still doing new releases of Civilizations, and it's a continuation. It is retro at this point because it came out in like the mid 2000s, but it's also something that they understand the player base and they cater to it, and they're making money with it. There's a business case there.
Yeah, that's kind of different from it's an ongoing community where sometimes like a retro game, if you take the Super Nintendo, they're no longer selling games,
Yeah.
which means everything you buy is you're buying secondhand, which again brings into the argument about emulation versus owning and blah blah blah. We've gone over that one, ad nauseum.
Yeah.
But like a lot of collectors out there, there's people who have the entire catalog of like a Sega Genesis or the Super Nintendo or PlayStation games, and they collect everything. And some of those games have been lost to time, and it's these people that manage to keep these things alive. And even though it's like probably the worst game you've ever played, it's still out there because copyright, like IPs and all that, they change hands all the time. A company goes out of business, somebody buys the IP, they never use it, it disappears into the other, and next thing you know, it's just that one guy with that one CD for the PlayStation that has Hooters Road Trip.
And we're thankful for that, man.
Yeah,
thank you. I want to extend a personal thing. I know you're listening, guy with Hooters Road Trip, and I want to personal thank you. Personal
like
thank you
retro in our community. Honestly, that man has everything.
But we need people like that preserve not just the memory of where you were when you played it, but I mean, we're watching video games as a medium turned from a pastime that was looked down upon and only a thing that nerds did back in like the Atari and arcade days, to something that is totally mainstream that everybody participates in, to the point where they don't even realize that they're playing a video. Oh, I'm just playing this, I don't know, something on my phone that's but you get it. Like, all of these things deserve preservation because it's a valid art form, and we've watched this happen in our lifetimes. It go from something that is just a pastime to an art form, and it's also the biggest entertainment industry, period. Like there's no, it's bigger than movies, it's bigger than music. Video games are the number one pastime, so you get bad actors in there, and preserving it,
that's a good way to put it.
You to preserve it is like I feel like it's doing a service talking about these things to the people that really are going to appreciate these pieces of art, or maybe just pieces. They're not all, maybe they, when it's art or not. It's like looking at a risque photo. You know if it's more risque or not, I'll say.
Depends on how triangle the boobs are.
how many pixels are in like, I can tell it's photoshopped anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a really great point, Sarah. And I mean, like, how important is it for the community, like the people who do talk about video games all the time and whatever medium they're actually going to do? How important do you think that is, like with the, I think I worded my question wrong, but how do you think that plays into the current trend of re-releasing or remastering or remaking video games, especially ones like The Last of Us, which got remade on the PS3, PS4, and PS5? Like, is it getting too much? And is it because we're always talking about it, like ad nauseum, which I used already? So, but like, is it that really pushing into this drive for corporations to sell us back what we loved?
I've bought multiple copies of things, and back when games were on like CDs, I could remember like, oh, this got scratched or whatever, but it's not like that now. And I get it, like, to port something over to a new console, it costs money to do that. There's development, and and for convenience, you pay for convenience as well. But the end product, if it is something that brings you joy and you feel good about spending that money, I think that's the indicator, right? And when you have a product that ends up like The Last of Us, that is pretty modern, that could be ported relatively easily, and like I think it's all about price for me. Like, if I'm on PlayStation Store and I see The Last of Us, and I don't know what the price is. I don't know what my own
it's full price,
would be,
honestly.
So it's like a full price. Get fucked.
Yeah.
No. I mean, seriously, right? Like,
you reminded me of a guy yelling at a clerk at a store because he had to pay too much for
I would never do
Yeah.
that because I worked in retail.
Yep.
I would never ever do that. I have nothing but love for the retail workers. But if I'm screaming at a faceless corporation, charging me the exact same price for a re-release game,
Yeah, but if you go buy a retro game, you're paying like 5
Oh my
times the
God.
price of it because it's considered rare because COVID made us all sit inside and play video games.
Thanks.
Are you oh man, don't be so mean to no really.
No, COVID was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody. If it wasn't for that, then I don't know. I'm not going to silver lining that.
No. COVID. Got it. All right. Anyways.
Okay, maybe I'm just being contrarian. No, but really, really like the paying full price for The Last of Us now for an updated version of the same game, doesn't that just feel like you're getting gouged?
You are getting gouged.
You are,
right?
Well, I mean, go ahead, Brian.
I still never would have played that game except for 2 reasons. One, we did it for the show, and 2, it was on PlayStation Plus, the remastered PS4 version, and I didn't have to pay extra for it.
Exactly, it's the same.
But that's fundamentally that is different than the secondary retro market, right?
Yeah, that's part of the secondary retro market. There's games I haven't bought retro because I can get them on the Switch online, or I can get them on Xbox, or I can get them on collections. Like I have the Sega Genesis collection on my PlayStation, which sounds weird nowadays.
Yeah, that's a sentence, but yeah.
But that's how I play most of my Genesis games.
But I think there's a distinction here between retro gaming and preservation.
Oh yeah, I guess we've kind of circled the topic around and came back to the other side.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I like when I'm talking retro gaming, that's to have the experience and to make it as genuine as it could be, and then to preservation is the art of it, right?
These services that like Brian's talking about, the subscription services, that's how you preserve these. I feel
if I lived in a perfect world, there would be one subscription service like a Netflix of video games that would give you everything from the beginning of Atari all the way up until, let's say, the PlayStation 3. We'll call that the cutoff because they don't sell PS3 anymore. They still sell Xbox One and PS4. So you can't go ahead and just shove this on the Netflix of gaming. But that would be my perfect world, right?
Yeah.
I remember when GameFly came out, and that was their. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Talk about retro services from the mid 2000s.
Don't know if that was available up here.
Oh yeah, he's in Canada, right?
The Great White North. Oh God,
I forgot.
Yeah, you know the sno wall between Michigan and the border south of Detroit?
No, we're trying to open a bridge right now.
Good luck.
What are you talking about? We paid for it.
You deserve the service. On behalf of America, I apologize. Michigan wants that bridge. Anyway, the GameFly service. The GameFly service.
GameFly is.
Yeah, it was Netflix, but for video games, and
it was old school Netflix too, because it was literally discs in the mail.
Was this something before its time? One of those things that you wish could still be going on, but would be ruined by corporate.
Oh, really? I would say
so. On live, so I covered the video game industry at nauseum. Word of the day, at nauseum. When this was going on, GameFly existed as like the DVD rental kind of service, and then On Live was the service that was ahead of its time, that you needed to have a really fast internet connection and service where you
5 megabytes a second.
I can't believe we're going to download this Napster song so fast.
It only took me 3 hours. This is amazing. Nowadays, if I can't download a video in under 10 seconds, I get angry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if it's buffering, I'm like, what is going on with the world today? What has happened? I can't. I used to download a demo of like Duke Nukem. I'm like, 700 megabytes, and go leave and play all day, and then come back at night and it'd be almost done. I'm like, oh, sweet, thanks.
And then you open the file and it's just malware and porn.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that tells me that only happened to me. Cool, awesome. Anyways,
no.
Yeah.
That pause was you unearthing a bunch of terrible things that I was like, this is not the appropriate time to address these memories that have just flooded into my head.
Here's the thing.
Bad nostalgia.
It is bad nostalgia, but memory and like emotion identity is very important. So it's never really just been about like the games themselves, for I don't know, for me personally. So like what are we missing when we revisit the past? Like, I've always felt like, even though I love these games, I just don't have that same feeling. So something is missing when I replay one of my favorite games from childhood. And I just like, what do you guys think that really is?
I know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Psychology time.
Yeah.
So the childhood lost, right?
Yeah.
Like this is where it's at, and that is something that the bad nostalgia that we can't engage with, we shouldn't engage with, because when you're spending that money on a product that has already been developed and shouldn't cost that much, and this is this childhood that you're trying to chase that will never exist and cannot be fulfilled by a thing. It has to be something that you innately understand about yourself, that you're not going to get that happiness.
There ever been a moment where you've sparked up an old game, watched an old movie, listened to an old song, and all of a sudden it kind of brought you back into that feeling? Like you remember it and all of a sudden you're in this happy place again?
So for me, that's because it's going to be a little bit more modern than you two, I have a feeling. But for me, it was the soundtrack to Need for Speed Most Wanted, because that hit just at the right time of Avenged Sevenfold, Disturbed, all this stuff, and just asshole Joe high school era. And anytime those songs kick on, I'm immediately back there of just like,
if I played Disturbed at a family function, Joe's just gonna start mosh pitting around.
Really would.
People just kidding. No.
See, my answer when I thought about this was actually Need for Speed Underground 2.
Oh wow, okay,
yes,
that's more your guy. Yeah,
I'm still like, I have a copy of it on the original Xbox, and I have an original Xbox here, but the adapter I have to hook it up to my HDMI crushes the screen down, and it looks like way too narrow.
Yeah.
And I want to play it so bad, but there's like literally no way to play this game outside of that Xbox.
Like,
and I don't want to play it.
Yeah,
I don't want to play it on PlayStation because Xbox had the trigger for the gas and brake, where PlayStation had you push X and circle, and I prefer the Xbox version of it.
Wow, I only played it on PlayStation. I didn't know about that till just now. I would probably hate it on Xbox because I only played these racing games when it was an analog input. Yeah. I'm just like, no, I need a tap. But so if you listen to Riders of the Storm, the Snoop Dogg version, like that takes you back. Good nostalgia, Brian.
Yes,
I was gonna say that's the song from Underground 2. I'm assuming I didn't play a lot of 2. Okay.
Oh my
There's
God.
a couple of songs. There's one in particular. I can't remember the name of it, but it was on my playlist for so long, and I don't want to like start typing on my computer right now. But
Brian, it's okay. No, I'm tired of the comment stopping you from researching. Be who you are. Type on your computer if you want.
Okay.
Freak flag fly, and I mean, like, Born Too Slow, Crystal Method, was that one of them?
Oh, I love Born Too Slow by Crystal Method.
Oh, I play Heli Attack 2 on, what is it? I forget, miniclip.com.
Oh my God, miniclip.
Let me drop.
Yes.
Yes, crap. This is nostalgia, the good nostalgia, right? Like, if they release Heli Attack 2 on right now on PlayStation Store, I would buy a PlayStation.
Is miniclip still running?
That's what it is. Nobody by Skindred.
Skindred? No. Oh, okay. I never heard of this song. Okay.
No, nobody.
How does it sound?
Oh, this sucks now. Sorry, I had to look. Miniclip exists still, but it's just crap.
Is it bad nostalgia?
It's just Subway Surfers and like, just like it's literally phone games.
Oh,
that's what everything's going to nowadays.
I know, but man.
It could be videos of people playing Subway Surfers while you're playing a game. It could be like a full inception of what it was.
So I got logging into Club Penguin. Yeah, leave me alone.
I got a question for you guys. Just let's get back on topic here before we get into the Joe versus Joe family fight. So when we go back to the roughness, if you look at PlayStation 1 and N64, like those, the rough beginning of 3D and how rough it looked. Is there something about the imperfection of these games that really add to the nostalgia of them? Because I'm playing Tomb Raider right now for the show, and I'm playing the remastered, and you can switch between the original and like graphics and the remastered graphics, basically rounding out the triangles. And
Interesting.
it adds like a different.
I'm just gonna leave that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the boobs. Anyways, it.
Oh, I was thought. Okay, I mean,
Wait, what? You
you're
weren't?
there. Yeah. No, I was just talking about the level. Never mind. Okay. I
It
guess
does
not
that
everybody's
too.
into tigers as much as I am. Whatever. No, it's cool.
Well, back in the day, everything was triangles, but nevertheless, is there something about the imperfection of those games as they were when they were released that kind of adds to the nostalgia, or do these remasters that clean it up a little bit make you feel a little bit better about them?
I think it's has to do with like if you have the relationship with the title. Like there's a lot of that generation because like we said at the top of the show, I had a Genesis in that PS1 blocky PS1 N64 area where everything was like a rough transition to 3D. So I missed a lot of those games. So me experiencing them now for the first time, like sometimes I'm blanking on an example, but like they look rough, but I don't have the charm and nostalgia to appreciate like appreciating it at the time it came out, where it was the best looking thing ever at the time. Now it just looks like shit, and
Right. Yeah.
it's like I have nothing to bring me the like I don't have the rose colored glasses to make this look better than it truly is.
So I had been emulating Gran Turismo 1 on
Yeah.
my tablet, and I wish I could make it go in a higher version of HD.
Yeah, to see how rough it
I was
looks.
like, because like it's for the time it was amazing and it's nice to see it, but I actually appreciate the when it plays and feels the same, but it has a little bit more modern polish. I'm okay with that
Yeah.
as long as the other version is still there, so we can say, look at how far we've came. Because it doesn't add for me unless it's like a game like Parappa the Rapper that has an art style with
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't want to take away too much from that. Okay, you can smooth some lines and stuff, but that kind of takes away from it. A game like Gran Turismo, the first one, like I don't know. I mean, even when I was little, I would get confused by like the special stage 11 or something like that. I'm like, because you would do the track backwards and you don't know if it's coming at you this way or that way. And I find myself falling into these same traps. Brian, I don't know if that's a thing that happens to you, or is that just a me thing?
It
This kind of
happens to me
stuff?
as well.
Okay, I'm just that doesn't feel so bad. But like thank you. If you were just like, no, that's a you thing, I would just sit here and
Oh, totally.
silence the
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's just- I wasn't
Just
even
gonna go
listening.
home,
What are you guys
guys.
talking about?
Hell is wrong with you, Joe? God, why did I
No.
invite you?
You stink. Everyone hates you. Oh God, my voices are true. Oh, is that too real?
Nope.
Okay, you guys are here with me. Good. So like that kind of early 3D is super nostalgic to me. I don't find it super charming. In fact, I would rather
No.
play
But
right.
that varies from
No,
game to game, I feel like.
what?
Because
Hold on, Brian just said no with so much conviction. I
Yeah,
want to know what
because
his
no,
no was.
it's one of my biggest problems doing like a retro video game podcast is playing games that I have a hard time getting into because they're just not good.
yeah.
And at the time they were great. Like GoldenEye was an outstanding
it
game, but
sucks.
nowadays
That's the perfect
now.
example.
Yeah.
terrible.
Perfect example.
That's
The
great.
controls now just age so poorly. If you play it on an N64, you're like, what am I doing? The graphics, like it's not charming. It just feels bad, man. It's not great.
Yeah,
So,
like
like-
everybody praises Ocarina of Time, and it's a great game, and it has a lot of importance in the video game history sphere. But my God, it is probably one of the worst controlling Zelda games I've ever played in my life.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
because people have such good like nostalgia for that game, they can't get over the fact that it really does have bad controls. Like
Now,
it's just a product of its time.
Now, do you think that's also like a partial generation thing too? Because like I think
No,
it controls
because
fine.
I
that's
played
what I
a
was
lot of
used to.
N64 in my youth. I played PS1 and N64, like PS1 before they had analog sticks, and N64 all the
Hell
time.
yeah.
And
My
I loved
man.
it at the time. But like I tried to play Mega Man Legends for I can't remember the reason, as it was a while ago, but
Yeah.
the tank controls made it almost unplayable.
tank
And
controls
this is why I like the Tomb Raider Remaster has updated controls, so it's not just a tank control game anymore. You now have the analog stick, and the second stick will rotate the camera, and it makes the game way more playable.
It's truly a remaster. You're reimagining, remastering, bringing it
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
to the the current standard
and
of
you
what
can hot
gaming is.
swap
Yeah.
the graphics, and you can just jump in the menu and swap the controls around. So if you really want that authentic original experience, which I did just to kind of get a feel for what the game was, it's doable. And I've been playing in the original graphics because, well, for one, it's brighter and you can see more of the environment, and second is because I really want to like take in where we came from.
Mhm.
And I think that's the importance of a lot of these remakes and remasters, is being able to still appreciate what the original source material was and look back on it and be like, hey, we're staying true, but here's a little bit more. Here's what you think it looked like in your memories, but truly it looked like this, and it was rougher around the edges. And
I don't know, Joe. Did you say that before, or is this just wedged in my head from a YouTube video? Like that was one of the like things. Like
I might have.
it looks the way you remember it should look.
It's
I
a
think-
common phrase, I feel like, in the retro community. I don't know if I said this episode, but yeah, I feel like I hear that a lot in like all these other retro gaming podcasts. It's like, you think it looked better than it truly did. Like everyone thinks, yeah, Tomb Raider, yeah, those triangles were hot. And then it's just like, no, you look back and it's like, okay, yeah, they were definitely
Nah,
triangles.
you don't know what I'm into.
Yeah.
You can't paint with a brush that broad, dude. Come on.
Come on, I grew up with you. You like boobs. Shut up.
I'm saying that Tomb Raider with the pixel Tomb Raider. I don't want to discuss the merits of that right now. You know,
You have some deep-seated thing with Tomb Raider that I'm gonna poke at later.
it was 1996, and my friends Craig and Nick got Tomb Raider, and we would just lock the guy in the freezer. That's what you did.
What?
In the training level in the original Tomb Raider.
Joe, I didn't have a PlayStation, remember?
Well, this is for Brian then, and all those us middle-aged old guys.
It's going to sadden you that I was actually doing something on Discord. I kind of tuned out for a second.
I needed you, and just when I needed him most, he was gone.
There we go.
The Fire Nation. The Fire Nation attacked, and he was gone. He's like, these Joes will take care of themselves.
What have you done?
I made a roll called the Joes because you guys are going back and forth, so I don't want to keep pinging you both. So I streamlined it. Not that anybody listening really knows what I'm talking about.
No clue.
But just kind of summarize your point again, and I'll get back on topic here.
It's okay. The point was made.
I do not want to hear it like an episode from now. We're like, wow, you really derailed this one as you're making a roll in Discord for no reason mid-episode.
We're not going to get into derailing on this one. You two have been yakking back and forth, and I keep having to trying to bring us back on topic there, and I've just given up.
We're here for your entertainment.
I know my secret goal was to break Brian. We've done it. I do not care what happens with the rest of this episode now.
Yes, I don't even know how to get back into it. Like I have a highlighted section in the notes here just so I can try.
We were talking about graphics and if the graphics make a difference, right?
I think.
But then Tomb Raider came up and it got weird, and then the Fire Nation attacked.
See that? Yeah, I know the Tomb Raider part, but the Fire Nation, that's where I kind of went off. And I understand you're talking about Avatar because, well, it's the only one that has the Fire Nation. But I'm gonna throw something out there.
Please.
I've only cherry picked Avatar. I never got into it.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen the culmination of the entire show. I watched the fight with Aang and Fire Dude at the end.
Yeah.
But
Fire Lord Ozai. Sorry.
Yeah, I never got into the show itself.
Got it.
And what's his name? Not Uwe Boll, the other guy, the Widow Twist guy.
What the twist?
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan, yeah, he remake or make a live action one that just bombed.
Yeah, please don't watch those.
That's the definitive way to watch it. That is nostalgia on point. That is taking your childhood and trying to sell it back to you, but not understanding the assignment.
Really, it is. It really, you're right. Like bad nostalgia, things I wish I didn't spend money on, and like, but that's the kind of lookout that we have to be on. Like, do not just mindlessly spend that stuff because you worked hard for your money. You're better than that.
But a fool and his money are soon parted, right?
Yeah, right.
And that was actually one thing I used to do a lot is when I was young and I worked at EB Games, or what you guys call GameStop. We eventually changed the name and now we're changing it back. And when I worked there, I was there because I got a 15% discount. I already had a good job, and I would buy games every paycheck with my EB Games paycheck. And I had so many games just on the shelf that I wasn't playing just because I wanted to have them. And we're doing that. I did that all the way up until I quit my last job, and I would buy games simply on spec or because somebody referenced it. And there's games I have that I spent full price on that I didn't play until they're 50% off on sale.
Yeah.
Oof.
And
I've broken that habit because I'm poor, but
that tends to change the way you live.
Yeah, that helps. No, I was in that rut for a while too, like a few years back, where I was just like, just grabbing anything and everything that I heard mentioned or was like remotely good and then just not touching it. But I also had the problem, I think I've talked to you about this, Brian, a little bit, and Joe, you'll be able to relate because it's your goddamn brother's fault. But
what isn't?
Is his name Joe as well?
No, you know,
that would be amazing.
I don't care putting Mike on blast because he knows he's a problem. Oh yeah, Mike's a problem for this because he literally is the guy. It's like, hey, dude, you gotta pick up this new game. You gotta pick up this game.
God.
We're gonna play it and we're gonna have a great time. And it's just like, no, because what we do every time is I drop $30 to $60 on a game. We have a good evening. And then I will continue to play it, have a good time. And next time I talk to you, you're like, oh, yeah, no, I'm actually playing this now. I don't touch that anymore. I was like, why the hell did I spend $80? You know how many times I started and played WoW because of the brother? God.
He did it to me. He did it to me last month.
He did it to everybody.
He did it to me too. Last month I re-upped my WoW subscription. I bought the fucking expansion. And you talk about playing on nostalgia because I had my World of Warcraft radio show.
Let's bring the temperature down here. We don't need to kill Mike on the air.
Angry at my younger brother. For
I forced him into the Discord. Don't worry. He's
really like
pink
Joe.
later.
Like this game of the week thing that would happen.
Yes.
The sad part about that is Joe would go off and then he would get real good and get like these really bespoke talents and get like have like a really good character and then nobody was there to play with them after. It would just be like years later you'd show us something.
I was playing until the end.
I picture old Fettuccine out there like Millhouse at the park throwing the frisbee to himself.
It was pretty much that.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm sorry, Joe. He did it to me too, though.
Brian, if you want an insight of our family dynamic, yes, I'm Millhouse in the park throwing a frisbee alone.
Yeah, I think I've gotten quite the dynamic of your family. I can't show up to the family reunion because I already know everything, how everybody's doing.
You got it. It's fine.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's your family.
I get hot-blooded about something. They ignore me. Life moves on. It's fine.
So the kids of yesteryear are the ones making the games today. And do you think their nostalgia is hurting the culture of video games and creativity? Or do you think they're bringing something that we desperately need into today's games?
I'm not the arbiter of what's new and cool, guys. So I don't know if I'm suited for answering this question.
Well, yeah, I got something.
This isn't a technical podcast. This is an opinion-based podcast.
Really? Yeah, you can tell this isn't a technical podcast. Really?
Yeah.
With how much off the rails this one's gone. But I feel like we see more of that in the indie scene, and me and you, Brian, have talked plenty about it. Like, you get things like now, like Sea of Stars and stuff, where it was just like a great homage and nod to like Chrono Trigger, and other classic RPGs. That it's like, yeah, you were clearly influenced and made something amazing. And
I
go for it, because I don't know where I was going after that.
Well, I got you because like this is the indie game scene is the barrier to entry is a lot lower to make a game now. So passion can drive a product or a project in so many different ways. And I see so many cool looking indie games that if I was into that, I would want to play it, kind of a thing. But you know, things that stick out that kind of like broke the mold were like those early kind of, I don't know, Xbox store, like, oh god,
Xbox
Misplosion
Live
Man?
Xbox Live
Yeah,
Arcade. Yes,
I'm thinking like the Shovel Knight thing, and
that
like
was another
that
one I
was
was
like
gonna
the
mention.
Cuphead, Shovel Knight. Is it Misplosion Man? I can't remember. But like these kind of like platformy games, you can kind of see that kind of getting going and then being corporatized. And now with indie tools and development, now you can just you could vibe code a game and make it halfway decent and see if it gets pull. But yeah, I think that now that the people in their 40s grew up with these games, there's maybe more of I would hope that there's more respect to the things that came before it, but
I'd like
and
to
you can
think
see
so.
that. Yeah, but you can see that in the individual releases, but I don't have any like specific games that are super new because I'm kind of out of it when it comes to the most modern side of gaming.
Yeah, I think you touched on it with things like Shovel Knight and things like that were just clearly baked in nostalgia fueled like creativity spurts and
Good nostalgia.
good. They are good nostalgia because Shovel Knight plays like a Mega Man, but it's its own unique thing, and
Oh, Super Meat Boy was so much. Yeah.
it gives you that memory of back in the day of like booting. It gives you the feeling of discovering something new, but it's still familiar. I feel like is
But
yeah.
but Brian, you asked the question. Did you have
Yeah.
something to add to it? I feel like I mean, obviously we've
No.
devaluated
Sometimes I
you.
just do it to knock you guys off your tangent and get you back on course. No, it just
Spoken like a professional.
yeah.
It
It
really
just
is.
how do I put this? I feel like the accessibility of being able to develop your own games, and I'm going to become part of the problem someday, I swear, is that we have too many things coming out that just doesn't measure up to being anything that's going to break the market. But then you have to wade through the hours and hours of crap. I shouldn't say crap because these are people's dreams. You wade through like the hours and hours of people putting out these games that just don't hold up to these like larger indie games, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
they just become clutter. And then on top of that, you have AI slop being put on every like service available. Like PlayStation just had to go through their entire catalog and wipe out all these like half-ass shovelware games. So we're just at a point where there's so much crap out there that it's hard to see the gems of these small games. And the people who make the best games are the ones who have the passion from their life of playing video games. And it's a shame sometimes that they get kind of shuffled into the abyss.
Yeah, we're more fighty on here, Brian. But I mean, honestly, I do look forward to the day when you eventually get there, because you, sir, are probably going to make some insane JRPG inspired thing. I would imagine that's probably going to shake things up. I would imagine, and I mean that
versus
genuinely.
Joe. It's a
What?
Joe RPG.
Joe?
Joe versus Joe.
Oh,
Okay,
dear
so
Lord. We're tied. We're
yeah,
dynamic
I would
there.
be. We'll have a discussion after this.
We got some stories to
IP.
pitch you. You might have something here.
This is how the process works.
Yeah.
But there you go. There that leads into a question: like, can nostalgia inspire the innovation rather than just replace it? Like, look at Expedition 33 bringing back the turn-based RPG.
Oh my gosh! Boy.
And especially at such a scale, like if Square Enix is like, turn-based is just dead, nobody wants it anymore, and it was just like completely proven wrong. So,
well, yeah, you pretty much took my answer, but yes, that because that's what I had in my own notes. So it's like, yeah, Expedition 33 turned it around. It was just like, because didn't Square literally say nobody wants to play turn-based RPGs
yeah, and
anymore?
that was a big justification behind Final Fantasy 16. Is just like everybody wants a big epic story, and nobody wants the other thing.
Destroying it of just like, no, people clearly want this. Like, yeah, Joe, when you're last in town before this, yeah, I showed you Expedition 33 because you didn't hear anything of it at the time, correct?
Yeah, it was just like,
tell me. I was gonna say, talk about what you thought about it.
So I've been disconnected from gaming for like 5 years, other than sim racing, which is very niche. It can be a very singular experience. So.
I refuse to get into sim racing because I will become addicted.
I know.
Oh, you would. I
Yeah.
didn't think about that. You probably
Brian and I
would.
can do. We could talk racing games. I already know this about us. But the yeah. So like the turn based RPG thing never really clicked with me. But what really did it for me was just the music of Expedition 33. So I don't know. I want to just say thanks, Joe, because
Yeah.
I've listened to that soundtrack, and I don't know if I should say gestural or gestural. Is it gestural?
I have been
That's what
saying gestural. Brian, what
Okay,
is
all
it?
right.
You know?
I have no idea. You have to listen to them talk.
Yeah.
I have a whole station on my Spotify dedicated to just the song Monaco. And
Yeah.
I have
That was
not
such
played
a
that
catchy
game.
one.
It is a
Oh
catchy
my
one.
gosh.
But that's the thing, Joe. I showed you that knowing you would appreciate what it is. I know it's not your
Yeah.
style of game, and that's fine. But just like
One
you
day I will play
recognize
it.
you recognize something great, and that's the key to these like inspirations from like years back, because it's like, yeah, it's a modern game, modern controls, all that, but the mechanics, okay, it's a modern game, but it plays like Paper Mario at the end of the day, control wise, because it's just rhythm based timed attacks.
Well, we are all standing on the shoulders of giants, right? If we want to be poetic about it, right? Like, but there's a 20-year cycle of nostalgia
true,
and the
too.
way things go. Like, look at those like swishy, I don't know, like Reebok jackets and stuff. Like, it's only a matter of time
Oh, the
for all this stuff.
pullovers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
that kind of stuff is coming back around. It gets
Pokemon
mixed up.
cards.
It gets mixed up. Soon it'll be Pogs and Yo-Yos. Maybe.
It really
Who
will.
knows?
No, but that's something I like about nostalgia is when things die. Like, remember the craze that was Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
That's never coming back. We've moved on to Funko
I
Pops,
was
which
gonna
are
say
now dying.
it will. It's just rebranded as Funko Pops.
Yeah, but it's
what are
that
those
kind of
things?
thing.
The with the faces. I've spent hundreds of dollars on them for my children. I can't remember what they are. That was like 3 months ago. That was bad nostalgia.
Yeah, but that's the kind of nostalgia people have that you can kind of get regret from, because you buy these collections that, you know, people have divorced, and they've, like, there's a story I see online every so often. These two people getting divorced, and they're actually in the middle of the court dividing up their Beanie Babies in front of the judge. But they used to have value as well. Like when eBay came out, everything became sellable, and then the value of stuff just skyrocketed. And then all of a sudden it dies. So somebody who spent like $10,000 on Beanie Babies is now just kind of up shit's creek with a bunch of, you know, little stuffed animals.
Yeah.
It's that type of nostalgia that disappears, where things that keep giving, like video games, movies, and TV shows. Like, it's funny. I watched Home Improvement a couple of years ago, like during COVID, and it does not hit the same as it did when I was a kid.
Really?
Tim Allen is a misogynistic, very poor father who almost kills his family on a weekly thing. And it's just like the time that we lived in is what changed my opinion of the show.
Huh.
So that's a different type of bad nostalgia. Like, we have to look at things through a different lens.
You know, I was watching a movie. This is like a real deep pull. I don't know a lot of people are gonna. There's a movie called it's called Fat Beach, and it was not for me. Yeah, you're not gonna get it. You had to be like. Anyway, don't worry about it. There's a movie I was watching, and it was like everything wrong with this kind of like 90s way of viewing the world, where it's like, oh man, we gotta not be a virgin, and you gotta fall in love and make this money and do this whole thing. Though when we look back and we judge a show through a modern eye, it's a that critical watch, it's a time capsule, and it says a lot about where we came from. I love that feeling, and I have no problem putting myself in a position where I can laugh at it for what it was at the time. But it's like when the joke hits different and it feels a little bit bad, that just means you grew. That means that you're probably a better person than what you were. Like, that means that, like, so I like engaging with that sort of experience.
It shows you've grown and you've learned from your experiences, and like, hey, yeah, I appreciate for what this is. Look at the growing moments through it and just continue to grow as a person. It's hugely beneficial, and that's like a plus side of looking back at nostalgia. Sometimes it's just like, I'm not there anymore, and that's okay, and that's a good thing.
Labubu. That's what it was
Oh,
called.
that's the new one.
That's no, that's
Labubu.
old now. Now it's a
Oh, it's
different
old
thing.
again?
The kids are onto some like weird
And
like
Google
gourmet slime
Labubu.
thing. Yeah.
Go ahead and Google it. It's Beanie Babies again.
It was
Oh,
it
okay.
was the reincarnation of Beanie Babies.
It's Beanie Babies mixing with Furbies.
They gotta kill that kind of collectible thing. Like
They won't because it makes money.
I know why they're not going to. Everything boils down to money. But as somebody who used to collect a lot of stuff, there was always one thing that I follow. Like one rule I followed is I have to be able to do something with it, which is why I collected Transformers a lot. Because when I'm bored, I can grab one off the shelf and transform Optimus Prime into the truck he is on the inside. And
can't we all just do that, guys?
Yeah, but it's just things like that. And I always remember seeing collectors who have boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff they will never take out because they just want the value of it, and not the actual feeling of having it or
that's the Pokemon
interacting with
now. And
The
it's
Lego.
sickening.
For
me, Pokemon
Lego,
is a great
Pokemon.
example.
Oh yeah, because it's just turned into a bastardization of what it was. It was a collectible card game that you played on the playground to have fun, and now it's like it's a stock market now.
So
but the problem is kids are still wanting to do that now because they've become popular again.
But no, my son, I was about to say, he started Pokemon collecting. I was like, yeah, I don't get it, but I'm all for it because, I like collectible card games because they require intelligent thought in order to be able to win. You have to use what you have in order to create a strategy. So it's a great thinking exercise or a thought experiment. And what ended up happening was the kids were just bringing the cards to school to trade with each other because that's what they saw online.
Yeah, but that's what we did too.
Yeah,
honestly.
but that's the thing is like they're not playing the game. They don't know how to play the game. All they know is YouTube has told them that these cards have value if you trade them.
Yeah, and that's where the mixed signal comes in because back in the day in the late 90s, all we did was collect cards, trade, and show off what we had, but there wasn't monetary value tied to them like there is now, and that's what makes it terrible.
The scarcity was like opening the pack. It's just like it's so rampant now because you can share so much and get so much information now. Like I remember getting a Bulbasaur and feeling like that was like the most special card ever because it was my favorite dude. Right? Like I'm like, hell yeah, I love it. Like or like I didn't know that everybody's getting a Ninetales out of the Brushfire pack, but I sure as hell was happy that I got one.
It was special to you, and that's all that mattered.
But like when everything turns into a market, it makes everything gray and terrible.
And
so
that happens with consoles as well. I remember the PS3 came out. I worked at that EB Games I was talking about. So I wasn't allowed to pre-order the PS3 while I was working. So I made sure the day that the pre-orders were coming out, I was the front of the line because I literally walked out of the store, locked the door that night, and stayed there. And then when my boss came in and unlocked the door, because where I lived, only 5 PS3s landed in that town.
Wow.
Yeah, there was 3 at our store and then 2 hit Walmart. And that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, and this was before you could pre-order at Walmart or you can pre-order online. So yeah, I got in there and I got my PS3, my Fat Boy with backwards compatibility and the actual PS2 guts.
Nice.
And I was super excited. And it just nowadays, but I remember like that was the start of scalping. People would buy them and they would sell them for like 3-4 times the price, and all they had to have was a receipt. And now every time a new friggin' console comes out,
good luck.
The scalpers run out, and you see these pictures of a guy posing with 500 PS5s, and it's like, you're a friggin' loser.
Yeah,
you're not going to make your money back. People are just going to wait it out these days. All you're doing is ruining a kid's enjoyment. Like you're basically shitting on Christmas.
That guy ruined Christmas. But that nostalgia play too, like I think like the collector market and the video game market, like it's very, very close. I think that like there's a lot of overlap in the Venn diagram of who we are. Like my Pokemon cards are somewhere. I hope they're somewhere. I hope my dad didn't throw them away.
Have you seen your old room? They're gone.
Oh God.
There's no way.
Thousands and thousands of dollars.
Don't think about it too much. Yeah, we all have that moment. Yeah.
But really, like I think that when we talk about the nostalgia when somebody's cashing in on a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
like if they're re-releasing the Gen 1 Pokemon cards,
Which they are.
mm-hmm, I'm not saying don't buy it, but know why you're buying it, right? Like that's kind of where I'm at with this. Like,
See, I like when corporations disrupt the collecting market when it becomes out of hand, where they release something to devalue stuff they don't even make a profit off of anymore, because it's just being resold amongst like ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So every so often it's nice that they come out and it's like, yeah, we're just going to re-release everything, and all of a sudden you see a dip in the value of the old stuff just to smarten them up.
Yeah.
I wish that would happen with video games.
But it's not now. And
No, it hasn't. Like,
yeah,
it can't because I mean they tried re-releasing those mini consoles. They made their money on that.
Oh, I
and
got
now
those.
yeah.
I know. I
They released those consoles to bridge the gap between the failure of the Wii and the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came out and said that. That is literally the reason they came out.
Yeah.
And why we'll never see a N64 mini.
No, you won't. And
it makes me sad, but
it
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're going there, Joe, with something about
Yeah, I cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah.
I do that every so often.
Brian made me so sad with what he said. I forgot what I was talking about.
Crushed him entirely.
Oh my god,
Well,
he's right.
the
That's what
N64
happened.
mini is now basically Switch Online.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So you still get it. You just don't get the joys of having a tiny little N64 that doesn't have a cord long enough to reach your couch.
And that's the thing. It's never gonna, and that's not gonna help with the inflated prices of collecting and getting into retro, unfortunately, too. It just doesn't even have an impact anymore, which is sad because yeah, it's like I'd love to pick up some of more of my old GameCube collection, but God help me, I'm gonna have to sell my child.
Oh, jeez. But
just have another one.
I'm working on
another
What's in the oven? We know this. It's all good.
Congratulations on your new GameCube, Joe. Thanks for telling me on the show. I guess what I was getting at, it's like the preservation versus the retro gaming part of it, right? Like we can play and emulate and do whatever we want with all the games that are already released. And for people that are buying these things for preservation or for that retro feeling, that nostalgic feeling, I think it's just tied together because, I mean, you don't have to buy some of these games, but there might be some specific ones that aren't on the stores, or you have to buy a specific kind of like emulator console thing to play. But if you want the official experience, then you go all the way with it. It's sort of like with classic anything, right? Muscle cars or anything like that. Retro toasters. But I've seen. I mean, like there's collections for all of this.
No,
stuff.
there is.
Yeah,
there's a market for it all.
Yeah,
it's just weird how like millennials have grown up with this idea that we need to buy the stuff we grew up with to make us happy, and it just seems like it's very specific to the millennial
it is.
generation.
That's because everything before millennials wasn't easily reproducible, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I was listening to the radio before I came in here, the real FM radio out of Windsor, actually, and they were talking about
stealing our Canadian radio waves.
I love your Canadian radio waves. Pour them over me. Thank you, CBC. May I have another? But anyway, they were talking about how a record player that before demo discs were a thing, they had these things called flexis that you talk about nostalgia, that were very cheaply printed records on like a piece of a piece of plastic or even cardboard that you can play a couple of times to give you like the feeling of something, and then you have to go out and buy the single of it. So it's called a flexi, and you played it on like a record player. That kind of nostalgia, like record players are gone unless like you can't have that nostalgia. You just buy the MP3. For millennials, we are just so we are so coded that these things, these franchises are going to be around. The Star Wars, the Mario,
Yeah.
I mean, anything Atari, anything that you want is just it's available digitally, or it's going to be recreated. Pokemon,
Yeah.
all of that stuff, you know, it connects with us. Harry Potter, like even Harry, like all this, it's we are very marketed to. Like,
Yeah. Well, they
did you
know.
guys buy Super Soakers again? Is that happening yet? Like, it
No,
depends
but
how
it's a
old
good
your kids are
idea.
at.
Well, nowadays you can buy a Super Soaker that fills itself because it's battery powered.
That's
Everything's
also true.
battery powered. Was
my
this show
gosh.
you were listening to on the radio? Was it called The Ongoing History of New Music?
Oh my god.
I can't remember what it was.
Okay, because
should.
that's a show that plays a lot in the radio stations I listen to in the car, and it's a really good show. And some of the information that comes out of that is just amazing. Always goes
Wait.
over the history of a band or something.
They were talking about the monkeys. It was great. I really love it. I was like, thank you,
Hey,
CBC.
hey, we're the monkeys. People say we monkey around. That's how you know how old I am. That and the Mr. Ed song. I got that stuck in my head.
What just happened?
You don't know what you don't. Brian and I have been summoned. We have to leave.
You found it.
Leap to our doom.
Oh, go back to bed. It's early there, Joe. You're still young. You'll get back pain soon.
I remember the only way I consumed a lot of this stuff was through TV Land, though. I wasn't there for the official release of Mr.
Oh man,
Ed.
I was a kid who was plugged in front of the TV a lot just to kind of keep me quiet. So
yeah,
I got a lot of these shows because my dad watched them, and yeah, it's how I met the Dukes of Hazzard, and I went to Mulberry there with the Andy Griffith show and Matlock.
So did you ever watch any Petticoat Junction?
No.
Oh God. Okay, I'm the only one. I'm really the only one with that one. I was like,
you're literally the only person who watched it.
No, it's the only person, the only millennial that knows Petticoat Junction.
Apparently.
It came out. It was like before Green Acres. It was like there was the filler show before Green Acres that came out.
No, you made me think of something actually. So when I was a kid, because it's not that I grew up weird or anything, but a lot of the media I consumed was actually from like the 60s and 70s before I was even born. And that's how I kind of related to that media. And that's how I know a lot about these shows that were on in those eras. Your kids, like you both have kids. I know Joe, your kid is really young right now, but introducing your kids to nostalgia, do you find they have their own interpretation of nostalgia? Because stuff that we find, we loved as kids is basically brand new to them and out of date.
I'm having this conversation right now.
I would say,
this
sure,
is
you
sort of. I have a 8 and 4-year-old, and so like they're like the Mario movie is like just heat-seeking missile, all the marketing and everything. It's just right to them, and that was like so. I've watched it, like I've watched all the Mario movies, and then the way that Star Wars is repackaged into so many different ways for them. Some of it is really rewarding, and I'm really, really just trying to give them the stuff that's vetted and good because I don't want them to see all the crap.
But seeing the crap lets them appreciate the good stuff more.
Right, but the more for Star Wars, they've seen the prequels and the original. The most of the originals, I don't think they've seen the 6th one chronologically, Return of the Jedi.
How'd you keep their attention that long too? Because they're young still.
Not Return of the Jedi. What is it? The Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi. How do I not remember these? Anyway, so
Return of the Jedi. I don't even like Star Wars, and I know Episode 6 is Return of the Jedi. Come on,
I used to be a bigger fan, and then I had to block parts out. But so they haven't watched that 6th one chronologically, and that one wasn't a big one for me either. I stopped at Empire. I'm like, this is good enough. I don't need any more than this. I'm like, nothing beats Empire. It's the best movie ever made. Fight me.
Some people in this community will, Joe. Some people
I know. But yeah, so
it was okay for a little indie flick.
right, exactly. But so exposing them to that kind of stuff is super rewarding because I find it entertaining to see them asking the same
Yes.
questions, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Also, it's entertaining to see your kid experience something that brought you so much joy, and you get to see that experience through the through them.
Ultimate
And
nostalgia.
yeah, it's my kid. Like at first, he was really into the stuff I was into, and I could keep him down and entertain him a lot. And then all of a sudden, Roblox caught his attention, and then I lost him.
I haven't had the Roblox moment yet.
It's coming.
happening.
They all get into it because it's all at school. Somebody talks about Roblox, and another kid talks about it. Next thing you know, everybody's getting an hour of screen time, and then 2 hours. And next thing you know, they're addicted. And
then they're
and
part
you
of
have
the
to give them
Roblox
heroin to
sweatshop.
get them unaddicted because it's less addictive than Roblox to kids.
Then you got to wean them. We wean them from heroin to chocolate, bring them back down to something.
Yeah, exactly. You got to
We
go
just
through
have-
that period where they
just
got
have-
the shakes and are vomiting. And
Your poor
anyways,
children.
that's our show. Heroin for kids.
Then
Can that be the episode title instead? I really want to confuse
no,
people.
I can, do not associate my name with that, please. I can be
You're
Other
asking
Joe.
for
Call
it.
me Other Joe.
And
Other
Joe
me,
Q, who
please.
really loves heroin and kids. So
Oh God, no! It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Worse. Much
all right,
worse.
so let's start wrapping this up because we've been going on for quite a while now. So
we need to land this link.
how would you guys think that we should like consume our nostalgia more consciously there, just to kind of not burn us out on the things we used to love?
Vote with your wallet, and
Yeah.
just be aware. Be aware when you're just getting taken for a ride. So that's it. I basically am just like crotchety old man that's like, stop spending your money on this crap. They're only do not reward bad behavior from these companies. Please stop buying it. So
it's part of
that's
the
my
problem.
plea.
It's like, if you're trying to get into the hobby of retro gaming now, good luck, because it's like the price point to get in. Like if you're trying to get in, like play everything natively, it's impossible. Find what makes you happy and just do it. Like, okay, I have a lot of nostalgia tied up with Pokemon, and I don't own any of the classic copies anymore. Everything's emulated and everything else because it's accessible. It's an easy way to play it, and I still get my nostalgia fix and bring that joy. And specifically with that community, you also have the ROM hacking community where it's like repurpose new experiences of these too, and it still hits that itch. But
Pikachu, but now with big boobs, apparently is one of them.
Moy Mom, yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
up.
see, I knew the second I made that comment, you would have a title.
Ew.
Because that's
Dig into your Game Boy, Joe.
That's the problem with fan communities. I remember somebody brought this up about what about fan remakes or fan games that take assets from a popular franchise, like let's say Mega Man, and then they build their own game out of all those assets. Are they considered indie developers? And to me, that the answer is no, because they corrupt somebody else's idea.
Yeah, you're literally stealing their work at the end of the day.
Ooh, I don't think that at all.
Really?
I think that once these assets are out there and it's old enough, like have at it, make something interesting.
No, but that's
do you consider
that's
them
the
an indie
problem is we're
developer?
such a perverted like species that the first thing we're going to do is add boobs to Mega Man.
Yeah.
We can't do anything without being gross about it. And there's always somebody out there, and it all comes about because of the internet and that whole Rule 34 crap.
I was just gonna say,
we literally have to sexualize everything. And that happens, and this is a conversation for another day, but it also happens with modern games and portrayal of women in the games, and people are like, oh, she could have had bigger boobs or been a lot hotter. Like, there's no reason not to make her hot.
It's true though. That conversation always comes up anymore, and it's sad.
I couldn't even read like forums or any like Reddit posts or anything about the new God of War coming out because I knew exactly what it was going to be about. And sure as shit, 2 days later, it was confirmed.
Oh,
The internet, you know what though? What I find is the internet is a big echo chamber, and it's not actually reality. When I talk to regular people playing these games outside of these, I don't know, these goblin caves where these people are hanging out and saying these comments, like I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I get it. Like, people obviously aren't going to be out in public saying this stuff, without the anonymity that the internet gives you. I just really believe that the internet gave everybody a soapbox, and everybody thinks theirs is the tallest.
Loudest voice wins on there now.
And that's all it is. And it's groupthink as well, because once you get into a group that allows you to be like misogynistic or racist or something like that, it becomes a lot easier to become part of that group. But that is, again, a topic for another day. Maybe one day me and Joe will explore that topic. But I think that's where we're going to call it for this episode, because I think we get about an hour and 45 minutes of talking now. I'm pretty dry. So so thank you everybody for coming out and listening. Joe Q, thank you very much for joining us. This has been an absolutely fantastic conversation and a very, very informative look into the life of Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to. Yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back again, because I don't think we've ever flowed this well on a conversation at this point. It just was so seamless because you two have such like history. So
not a bash to our previous guests, by the way. It's just me and Joe have buckets and buckets of history.
Yeah, so this
when
is
your family.
God damn it, Joe.
All right, so this has been RetroBytes Neo. If you're part of the Patreon, we have the video one coming up. It's separate from the actual recording. I don't know, Joe, do you actually put in the audio at the end of this for Patreon?
No, I don't. I cut it from the top of the section. Hi, everyone. Joe Fettuccini here. Just jumping in real quick because I said something entirely wrong there. The audio version of our Patreon game is tacked on only on Patreon. So if you're listening to this on the free feed, join our Patreon, check it out. And there's a lot more content. I think it's probably going to be another hour of content almost. Me and other Joe went really off the rails there on this one. So if you're not part of the Patreon, join. Brian's about to plug all that, but thank you for listening and enjoy the rest of Brian's outro.
So if you want to listen to or you want to watch the Patreon video, you can join the Patreon over at patreon.com/retrotopia. The video is put out on the free tier, so you don't even have to pay anything. You can just join the community and start chit-chatting on games and stuff. Again, Joe Q, thank you very much. Joe, we'll talk again here in a few minutes, but until next time, check out Retrotopia wherever you get your podcast. Bye.